Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenna Blackard,
And I'm Leonka
and
Reina.
this is the How Pestle Mystic Morning Show. Today, we're talking with Lena Franklin, and we are talking really about her journeys that she takes to dive people into like all of them, for the lack of a better word. That's what I sense from your work is that, when people work with you, they just go on these journeys and they just become different because they're reaching and seeking for more of their higher presence.
Even still, they do this in physical, so destination, and in non-physical ways. So, like in other words, they might be working one-on-one with you. So the journeying is what we found pretty interesting also a reflection of life journey. So that's how we were kind of talking about the offline about your collegiate journey. And Judith has also been a collegiate player as well. So anyway, I'll let her ask your question there.
I wanted you to start with the beginning because it
Yeah,
just kind of at the end of the conversation last
I know what
time,
she's
it just
getting at.
rolled out of your mouth. And I was like, wow, that's actually an integral part to who she is. And
Or
it
maybe.
it seems that it is, or I wouldn't be like wanting to ask you this question.
Yes, I love this question. And, I really feel like every single chapter of our lives really prepares us for this next level. I've been calling it like the word octave keeps coming through, this next
Yes.
octave of our
Yes.
lives.
Mhm.
And so it's interesting because I felt like compartmentalized and separated from that part of my life for a long time. And now I feel like I'm in this great place of integration and embracing all the chapters and all the eras and, the peaks and the valleys. And so that part, I really feel like being a collegiate athlete, it trained me in different ways. Obviously there's the stamina and the discipline and the working as a team. It's like no different. The energy, I look at energetics primarily as is no different than, working as a team in a business setting,
Yeah.
or, even if you think about your body working together, the organs and the systems. So I'm really interested in the homeostasis of systems. And so now we could go down so many different rabbit holes here, but I feel like that part of my life was really integral training
Uh-huh.
to really support me in the work that I'm meant to share.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about your background because it felt as if you had this, career or kind of direction carved out in front of you, and then you kind of had this trip and fall in a relationship, and it really led you into this work to becoming more open, aware, conscious, and
Mhm.
taking people down these journeys to become more conscious.
Or tell us a little bit about your backstory. I know we had that last time, but I think it really kind of does encompass.
Yes. Yeah. So I feel like I've lived 1,000 lifetimes in one lifetime. As
Mhm.
I'm sure, many of you can identify with that. My journey has been one that encompasses so much of the themes in my childhood, which, for those who don't know, I grew up in a Buddhist Christian home. I was taught meditation and spiritual practice and ritual ancestral connection through my mom. And I grew up going to Vietnam to visit my family over there. And she was the only person in her family to immigrate to the US. And she did so in 1975 to escape, a war-torn country and to really live a better life. So if you think about the power of one courageous decision, she chose to move across the world without, knowing very few people. She had a couple of friends she knew who came to the US, but that courage, that kind of dragon fire energy of following your heart and following your soul, the integration of Eastern tradition and wisdom with Western, culture, all of that is this beautiful foundation for the work that I share. And I was taught many things, and not all of them were, beautiful, like sitting in meditation and understanding, spiritual practice. It was, challenging because my mom had so many powerful gifts, just as her soul in human form, that weren't real, they weren't honored by my family of origin, just because of the capacity, right? So not good or bad, but the capacity of my biological father, the lack of, to really honor and understand where she was coming from and what her gifts were. So they were minimized. So I actually didn't understand the magnitude of her gifts until later, until I had to, I woke up and really broke open. So, a lot of those entrenched pieces of Western and limiting conditioning got lodged within me, where, I had to break through, that conditioning of keeping my gifts quiet and
Mm.
feeling safe. I mean, talk about the witch wound and the sisterhood wound, feeling safe to step into the essence of my power and my gifts, which are very, feminine in nature, which doesn't mean necessarily always soft, right? All the different aspects of the feminine archetype and the divine feminine energy. So I talk a lot about my mom because she was my very first spiritual teacher in human form in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And so many of the themes in her life I'm bringing forth because she took it as far as she could, and it's almost like she passed the baton to me. And because of her courage, I have this path now and this freedom to be safe and supported in my dharmic work in the world. Dharma meaning, my soul's purpose.
Sure.
So a lot of that, led into her, my for initial spiritual awakening. Ultimately, my big breaking open first dark night of the soul was when she suddenly passed. When she was 57, I was in my first year of grad school getting my master's
Mm.
work, and she suddenly passed from a stroke. Healthy,
That's
Pretty
young.
but
young. Yes.
yeah, yeah, very young. And that was um, a pattern on her maternal side, women having strokes younger because of high blood pressure, connected to the survival energy of carrying it all. Think about,
Yeah. Yep.
obviously we all know, women carrying it all and taking on all that responsibility while simultaneously their voices not being validated,
Mm.
keeping their spiritual gifts hidden behind the curtain because it wasn't safe or supported in their culture or family or community. So all of this kind of holding
Hmm.
back. So that gets stored in our blueprint, our genetic blueprints, our soul's blueprints that gets handed down ancestrally. And so when she passed, transitioned suddenly, I mean, that was our soul's contract. In that moment, I went into, I returned to the meditation she taught me originally. And through that practice, I began to expand beyond the limitations of my physical body and see and feel that I could simultaneously feel the grief moving through me, which was just, and we all know grief in different ways, excruciating, and feel this expansion in my soul and consciousness.
Wow.
And so grief was my portal initially into deeper spiritual awakening. And then from there, I started a private practice, began integrating, mindfulness and meditation and spiritual energetic tools into my practice, and began teaching groups and bringing groups to Asia, places like Vietnam and Thailand and Bali, to return almost like spiritual um, what's the word? Pilgrimages,
Yeah.
going back to these ancient lands, and the codes and the energies when your soul returns back to a place, perhaps it's lived before or
Mm.
ancestors, there's no, wherever you're drawn to, there's no coincidence there. So
Yeah.
people were, really returning and going through um, this aspect retrieval of their soul's essence and remembering, who they are. And back to what you shared at the beginning, that's That's an essential part of my work. My frequency, the way that I'm meant to express my work in the world is through remembrance, that through the journeys and through whether it's across the world or it's being here virtually or it's a session, a teaching, a talk, it's about remembrance and shedding the layers that we've been conditioned with in order to step into a full embodied powerful remembrance of why we're here. And so, that is a big part of my journey is grief and loss, and kind of moving from there. I had, after my mom passed, I married my high school, my college sweetheart,
Yeah.
who was, I had a lot of fun with, and everything about our relationship was beautiful on the outside. We traveled, we had two homes, he was an attorney, we were both collegiate athletes. So check, check, check.
Yeah.
The resume looked great. But the reality underneath something that, may be beautiful on the outside is what is the actual substance on the inside? And the
Mm-hmm.
reality was he was my mirror manifestation of my attachment to what people thought and the image and, the perfectionism that still ran through me. And so as I began developing, waking up, going on, my deeper spiritual journeys, beginning to travel and study with elders and shamans and masters around the world, I could no longer live the disconnect and the lie
Yeah.
that my marriage was really spiritually, emotionally bankrupt in so
Yeah.
many ways. So my energy systems started breaking down. And I remember waking up one day in my condo in Atlanta, and I could barely get out of bed, and I was like, something is massively wrong. So that's when I found Chinese medicine, and I went to a Chinese medicine doctor who really said, she tested me and did all the muscle testing, and she said, your heart energy is alarmingly low. Like, she was shocked. And it was because I was pouring so much energy out into my work, into, friendships and an image and how things looked, and
Yeah.
all that attachment to perfectionism and external validation and kind of acting in my marriage.
I can relate. Yeah.
We condition each other. So I was unconsciously just acting and showing up and not getting the replenishment back through reciprocity. So there
Mm-hmm.
was a lack of reciprocity there just because of his limitations and who he was consciously at that time. So I had to make a decision. And internally, around that time, I saw that doctor initially. I was like, I have to leave this marriage. And so, yeah, and that was a whole unwinding. That was
Yeah.
I mean, just honestly, pretty turbulent, and was kind of the second dark night of the soul, because really, as I made that decision, it looked very radical to my
Yeah.
family, my family of origin, and that's when I began diving into shamanic studies and shamanic, um, travels, and really embracing that path for a while. I was guided to it. And my family thought I was brainwashed in a shamanic
Mm,
cult,
yeah.
going to Peru, the first time I ever went to Peru. Um, they really thought that I had lost it. I had
Dana,
literally lost it.
yeah, Dana on the chat says, I can relate. We were the energy source, like, um, and I can relate as well. Yeah, and I can only imagine what year was this?
So this was, linear time is like not my strong suit.
Okay, me neither. Okay,
I
maybe
know.
that's why. Now I
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah.
My husband never forgets a date, and I'm always like, I don't know when that happened in my life.
Seven
This was
years.
it's about 7 years ago.
Okay. I'm
7 years.
just kind of thinking about where people were in terms of like how acceptance was for maybe even the word shamanistic, rituals, right? We've come a long way, but I remember when I first started my journey, there some of the words I was using, my husband was like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's been on that journey with me, but I had been married before,
Mhm.
and that was very tough to unwind
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
my, family and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If we're dedicated sincerely to this path of, we'll call it awakening, evolution, our energy is going to shift. And as our energy shifts naturally, things are going to fall away. I mean, it's no longer a frequency match. And that could be, a marriage, friendships, even family members. And everyone has a different path. My path was pretty there's a lot of intensity around loss in order to really come to this place of embodied sovereignty and freedom, true freedom. But yeah, it's challenging when you're walking a path and you're dedicated to standing in your truth, and yet those who claim to love you around you may not fully understand. Again, not good or bad, but it's just due to capacity. Like some people have the capacity to journey with you and some people won't. And that's okay. It's purposeful.
Yeah. Everyone has their own path.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Why is it important? I know it's going to sound so cheesy, but I want people to really feel this in their bones. Why is it important for us to have our own sovereignty? What does that mean to you? Like, how can we share this message, like more so?
Mm.
Yes. Sovereignty is another term for freedom that we have alchemized and transformed aspects and energies of our psyche. So, for example, subconscious beliefs, energies that have landed within us that are not ours, meaning they're not of the essence of our soul.
Mm,
For example, one of the big ones I have been working with for many years, and you know, gratitude to, to all and to source, because I'm at the tail end of it, and I feel that was my attachment to external perception and validation as safety. Because if you think of the lifetimes, all the lifetimes of persecution and exile around your gifts, your
yes,
spiritual gifts, your
yes,
spiritual path. I mean, there's that runs so deep. That's why it's so visceral. If you feel that like tightening in your throat when you want to speak your truth, that could be a multi-lifetime soul wound that you have been working with for many years.
yeah,
And to go back to the question, moving towards sovereignty allows you to reclaim the birthright of safety, security, and support while emanating the power of your soul in human form.
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
so beautifully said. Thank
Yeah.
you.
See,
Yeah.
I feel that we use the word consciousness more than sovereign. It seems a little bit different because sovereign brings through that queendom within, for us women. And consciousness is really just the rawness of what we are. What are your thoughts?
So you broke up there on my end.
Sorry,
Yeah, we have a
I
little
get
bit of
the
delay.
unstable
Oh, that's
internet.
okay. So the last thing I heard was
Consciousness
yeah,
versus sovereignty.
consciousness versus sovereignty. So I would say the terms mean different things, but they're
Mhm.
interconnected. So
Yes.
consciousness is the collective energy and information that exists in the universe. So when we say I'm expanding, I want to commit to expanding my consciousness and collective consciousness, then you're committing to evolution. If we say sovereignty, to me, I see that as more of a state of being. It's a state of freedom. And so they're interconnected. Like as you move towards sovereignty, you're simultaneously expanding your consciousness. And when we're sovereign, and we're humans, so there may be threads or aspects of attachment and connection, but I kind of think of it as, are you predominantly embodying your sovereignty? And that takes, I mean, it takes time. It's a process. So we don't want to rush it, although, there is somewhat of an urgency to expand consciousness on Earth.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the Earth is asking for that. Pachamama, I call her Pachamama, that's from my Peruvian lineage, but she's desiring to move through us in a way that is of restoration and regeneration.
Wow.
So yeah, but that's a great, Jenna, that's a really wonderful question, because a lot of people, we hear these words, but what do they actually mean, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, I appreciated you opening us up. I would love for people to experience your work. I mean, you are a profound energy master and meditator. So I would love to go into an activation, maybe to help people find more of their sovereignty within.
Or whatever you feel led to take us through. That's the beauty of being live, is that we can tap into the energy of the collective here and everyone listening on replay.
Amazing. Yeah, I would love to channel a transmission, perhaps a sovereignty transmission, which really we can call it different things,
Yeah.
shamanic journey, transmission. And so what I will do is connect with the collective energy that's here in our beautiful virtual space. Thank goodness for quantum entanglement. We're all connected in this moment. And it'll feel like a journey meditation, so
Oh, exciting.
all you need to do is receive. So I'm happy to do that. Yeah, great. So wherever you are, I'm just gonna kind of open up the space here. Just begin to shift your focus inward and allow yourself to receive the medicine of what's moving through us. So I'm the vessel, but really it's the collective energy that we're here co-creating together. And just let's take 3 cleansing, clearing breaths in the nose and out the mouth in order to clear the space. So inhale deeply here. 2 more. And begin to allow yourself to fully receive. If you're seated, spine over the hips, grounded into the earth. So together we'll ground for a moment to anchor our energies into the crystalline core of Pachamama, Mother Earth. Exhaling, dropping your energy down through the floor, down through the crust of Earth, dropping your energy past all the layers, the dirt, the rocks, the crystals, moving all the way to the crystalline core of Pachamama. You wrap your energy around her heart. And as you inhale, begin to channel up this vibrant ruby red energy, moving up, up, up. Up through all the layers of earth, up past all the crystals, the rocks, the layers, up through the crust, and back up into the base of your spine. And invite that ruby red earth energy to gather and pool through the pelvic bowl, the hips, moving in an infinity sign around the hips. Moving up the central channel of your body into your heart. You may place one or both hands over the heart space and gather and pool this ruby red energy through the chambers of the heart. Resting in your breath. And now that your heart is connected to the heart of our Pachamama, Mother Earth, you're reminded that there's no separation. So as you exhale, you offer your heart energy to our planet. And as you inhale, you receive this energy back. So you connect with the flow of sacred reciprocity, giving and receiving in equal measure. Now you begin to see a small spark of light in the back of your heart. With each inhale and exhale, the spark of light begins to open like a viscous, sparkling gold portal in the back of the heart. Opening with each breath. Until it expands to the size of a dinner plate in the back of the heart. You step your awareness through that portal and into the soul's sanctuary, this expansive white space, beautiful white light emanating as far as you can perceive. Begin to rest your presence in this soul sanctuary, in the white light. Rest, surrender. Let go of effort. Let go of trying. Let go of all energy beyond, allowing your identity, your ego to melt away. There's simply beingness. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, but surrender here into the white light. And then begin to make your way to the back of your soul's sanctuary. You begin to see a flight of stairs. golden staircase, shimmering gold, and you begin to make your way up that flight of stairs. And as you begin to float up that flight of stairs, you see before you a throne. And sitting upon the throne is the divine essence of your highest self. This may be the queen-like essence of your power, the king-like essence of your power, the god, the goddess that lives within you. You peer upon them with reverence and honor. And you begin to slowly move towards the throne of your highest self. And begin to observe and receive those details of your highest self's presence. What you're wearing, the facial expressions, the energy emanating from them, any adornments, or even animals that may be present. And as you take a bow to your highest self for guiding you, you pose a question or questions that you need to know, that you're requesting. Maybe guidance on your path. It may be wisdom around a certain situation. It may be the need for clarity. Ask the question or questions and release that energy to your highest self without attachment. And then open your heart to receive what comes. And taking a moment to do that. And receive the wisdom, the knowledge, the answers, the clarity. And as you receive what your highest self is here to share with you, you begin to see threads and filaments from your solar plexus attached to fear, doubt, constriction, smallness begin to become threaded away, almost like threads being cut and dissolving into the atmosphere. Opening the space to receive.
Yeah.
Rest in whatever your highest self has for you. And as you bring those pieces of wisdom or clarity, you allow them to anchor into your heart. absorbing what's received into your DNA, into your cellular body, into your systems, trickling down from the heart into the solar plexus, your power center. You begin to see a swirling sun disk in your solar plexus, amplifying the connection of your higher self operating through your free will. With each exhale, you relax and release even further to receive this swirling golden sun disk of cosmic chi, cosmic energy from the stars. And now beginning to reconnect with your highest self in their presence in front of you. You begin to extend your left hand, which is your hand of receiving, and your highest self gifts you a sacred object. It could be something you recognize. It could be an ancient symbolic artifact, something from your ancestry, an object from nature. Without thinking, simply receive what your highest self has for you. The symbol to carry forward with you on your journey as a soul in human form on the path of evolution and awakening. And as you receive this sacred object of your sovereignty, your freedom, your power, you then again bow to your highest self. If there's anything you wish to share, do so now. And then begin to turn around, move back towards the staircase, thanking your highest self for all that they do to guide you. And when you feel complete, beginning to make your way down that golden, radiant staircase. And back into the soul sanctuary, the expansive realm of white light, surrendering with your sacred object of sovereignty to help the evolution and unfolding, unfurling, blossoming of your freedom beyond attachment. And curling up almost in fetal position with your sacred sovereign object, begin to just rest and float here. And in this moment, perhaps your heart and soul acknowledge all of the lifetimes of karmic unwinding, of lessons, all of the ancestors it took to get you into this moment, opening the path for you to walk through the threshold of your sovereign power. That you are safe, secure, grounded, and protected on your path of purpose and evolution. You are safe. You are sovereign. You are protected. You are safe. You are sovereign. You are protected. You are safe. You are sovereign. You are protected. And that is your truth, your birthright, your truth, your birthright, your truth. I am safe. I am sovereign. I am protected. I am safe. I am sovereign. I am protected. I am safe. I am sovereign. I am protected. I live the fullest expression of my power. Resting in the radiance of your own natural energy, no effort, pure surrender. You begin to make your way back into your physical body, moving back through that portal in the back of the heart and feeling your divine presence in this moment, your feet on the earth, your spine upright, your heart space open. The filaments, the threads of resistance softened, dissolved, open. Feeling the movement, the flow of your breath, life force, the rhythms of your breathing. You connect your heart with earth heart for a few more deep, slow breaths here. Placing one hand over the heart, one hand over your belly. Just connect with your body, this vessel that has moved you through all of the peaks and the valleys of life. Thanking this miraculous body for housing us in this moment, this divine moment where we get to be together and we get to journey together. And in that remembrance, we remind ourselves that we're not alone. Bowing to yourself for showing up to this practice and this amazing, expanding, divine summit. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. May you always have love. May you always have peace. May you always remember the power of your soul. Namaste, Aho, Satnam, Munai. Whew.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Wow. What I find fascinating when I go into meditation, especially yours, is that, I start to sense all these bodily sensations. Like one time, we were in the heart and I was starting to feel this burning back here. And then when we were on the throne, it's like when I was given this like a crystal, rock, and it like felt like this heaviness, and it's just like that's just so fascinating to you because as a hypnotherapist that does this quite often, I don't notice it through my own work, like some of these like true like sensations through my body, and I just find that really interesting.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say maybe is that they're very visceral, very
Yeah,
physical, very, I mean, almost tangible.
5-dimensional.
You can,
Yeah,
you can experience it.
yeah.
I think that's very, very interesting.
But I have to just say something for meditation. Maybe you can say it even better than I can. But I mean, we talk a lot about like, I've got doubt, I've got fear, I've got worry, all these things that aren't really us, these constructs. And I have found that so many of those things can be simply changed through meditation. And
Yes.
I think people often forget that it's really that simple. You just go in and change your mind, quite
Oh,
literally.
yes, the message I kept getting was I am different. I am different. I am different now. I've changed. I am changed.
Yeah.
I am no longer like even it was like almost trying to anchor in like know that you have now been shifted. I was like, okay, I got it. Thank
Yeah.
you. But so that I didn't forget
Yeah.
as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's really beautiful. When we work with energy in, we'll call it intentional ways, in ways that are more, reminiscent of the shamanic path, uh,
Yes.
it can feel very visceral because of the potency of the energetic container and the amazing, like, this is, yes, I'm guiding, but it's the energy of the group. And to me, that's where councils and groups and,
Yes.
conscious
I
community,
got yeah.
this is a mandala of creation that we're all creating together, and
Yes.
co-creating together. And I love what Dana is, all the things, Dana, you're sharing here. It's so beautiful. Um, yeah, Anne Marie, thank you. Thank you
For
for
people on the audio only, Dana said one of the things she said to was beautiful journey. It flowed so freely, was very visceral, visual, and I have several pages of journal. And she also wrote, I was given a diamond, told I'm not just one facet, but all facets. And Anne Marie wrote, chest pain from sternum fracture is lessened. I can take a deep breath. My voice is different to y'all. Just
I
know
know.
that. Isn't that weird? A deep
Cool.
breath, much love. Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing what we can do for ourselves, to in with just energy. Things shift. People can come out of shamanic journeys or meditation sessions changed,
Yes,
the frequency of
always.
your voice changing, the pain in your back moving. I mean,
Mhm.
this is the power of energy. And this
Yeah.
is, you know, quantum medicine, really. This is
Yes.
now in the future of medicine, of healing. And that's a whole different, not different, but it's a more detailed wavelength. But yeah, it's visceral because it's all encompassing in the multidimensionality of who we are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just so juicy
Gosh,
too.
it's amazing. It's
I
experiencing work is amazing. That's all
normally
I can
I
say.
would bring up your package page, except I'm a little bit nervous to do it because the internet's been unstable. And last time I did it, it really made it unstable. So
Let's try. We can
you want to
try.
try?
We
Okay.
can try. If we get blocky, know that everybody else is hearing you just fine. So if you can take us through what you've offered here for our audience today. I mean, thank you first off, because the value here, and we kind of twisted our arm a little bit here to get this amazing value for a pricing that that is only as special for us, like seriously only as special for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And it is, you will see why it is quite profound. Let's see if we can get it up though.
Okay. I think
I think you just had it.
I just had it too.
You guys are the tech masters.
Yes.
And we're all live, so there you go.
I know. The beauty of live.
It is the beauty of life. And it's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on being able to offer our audience. It does come with its own quirks though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love live.
We do
For a while I
too.
was doing a live video show and with video, and it was amazing. And also, I mean, it's live is a whole nother element of
It is.
yeah.
Surprise, yeah.
All right.
Here we go. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, this is this creation, like they shared, it's just for the summit attendees and for this particular offering. So this is a quantum abundance activation scan, and something that I've found to be very powerful, and really it's an accelerated activation healing transformation, is that through quantum technology that I use, you will get a full activation scan
Cool.
connected to specifically your relationship to abundance, money energy, and not just money energy. Abundance is our ability to receive the relationships, the connections, the opportunities, the path that our sovereign self is meant to live. So I've found that when we work in that realm, that unlocks every aspect of our life, because our relationship with one thing is a connection to our relationship with all things. So you will receive an actual scan that I will curate specifically based on your soul's blueprint, and your biofield. And based on that scan, we'll have a really beautiful 30-minute diagnostic session and coaching mentorship session around that scan. So you can walk away with tangible guidance and steps in order to embody the manifestation of your highest self in physical form based on the findings of the scan itself.
Wow.
Very cool. What are some of the things that people will come to you to get scanned for? Like, I mean, this is for me, abundance. Yes, that's hello.
Yeah.
Where like codes for that, please?
Yes, yes. I raise hands. Yes.
Yes, all sorts of things. They may have a lot of it's based on, I work with a lot of leaders, so any kind of leadership block, whether it's, kind of the ceiling of going to the next level. So upper limits type of scan work that's connected to abundance. I do.
Yes.
At the core, I offer, a healing energy. So it could be someone who has a disease or is struggling in relationships or attracting love. It really could be anything under the sun. But again, healing your relationship with abundance will heal your relationship with many other things.
Yes.
So yeah, you can see here what is encompassed in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what
So
I
you get you even get personal practices to take home.
Specific for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Awesome.
specific for
Super
you.
awesome.
Yeah. So all of the practices and rituals and guidance is curated just for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Based on the scan information and what's found. And so much of our blocks are karmic entanglements and connected to ancestral patterns, and we get to really clear those. And so the practices will be based on the continual clearing and simultaneous activation and embodiment of your abundance codes. And your abundance codes are specific to you, This is why I was like, oh, I will always do group work, large scale talks and teachings. And also, there's something so sacred and intimate in the one-on-one that I will continue to offer in the ways that I can, because it is time consuming. But this
Yes.
one-on-one, beautiful mentorship and consultation. So,
Fabulous.
yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So that will be available anywhere where you find words. You can find it under Lena's beautiful picture there on the live page. And that is at howthustle.com/live. And also Jennifer is going to put the link if she can into the chat. And I will put it onto the description there if you're finding this on YouTube. But again, everything that you're finding here, you can find on our live page, which is again, www.hout, HAUTE, hustle.com/live, and you'll see Lena's beautiful, like I said, picture, and right under that is her special offer, and it is limited time. So if you're feeling really called, please, feel free to go ahead and take advantage of that, because she did put together this just specifically for our
us.
summit. Yes, and so we're so grateful, very much. I mean, you can see the value there in the one-on-one there
Yeah.
as well. Lena, wow, any parting words for us today? I know we're right at the hour, but gosh, this half hour was amazing.
We're all
And
chilled out now.
yeah, like I was feeling all painful because, sitting in this chair for 3 hours and my neck. And I think you could see that I was just shifting everything. And I feel like I'm so grateful, like so much gratitude for you, for everything, for being able to do this show with you, for Janet. I mean, I just feel all this gratitude, and that's just amazing. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm incredibly grateful to be here and, sharing this work. It's not me, it's not about me. It's just, I'm just an instrument, and it's really the greatest honor to step into offering this work and this energy. Parting words. It's simple, what wants to come through is you are limitless. You are limitless. And so in that vein, question your fears, question your thoughts, and continue to think, speak, and act from that deeper place of your soul. If you dedicate yourself to that very thing every day, you will claim your highest timeline. You will embody your sovereignty. You will be of greatest service. Think, speak, and act from your soul's guidance. And if you don't really, if you ever have a hard time connecting with what we're calling your soul's guidance, it's from the heart. It's from this place that lights you up. And a lot of times it may not make cognitive, rational sense. So continue that, in that you are limitless. Like anchor that belief into your conscious mind. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's funny. I like woke up this morning and that word limitless was in my head. I was like, I bet that's going to be something that's on the summit today.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It was making me, think of like everything that the world does to make us not limitless.
Mhm.
And what if we actually are? We just have been so entrained to not think that we are.
Wow.
Are.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to get on another, I won't get
I
on,
know.
but
I
like
know.
we are, that's
I
just
know.
Oh, it's
our
crazy.
limitations are false. So I love that you woke up with that. So
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Thank
thank
you
you
for
both.
ending our day that way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Limitless now.
Yes.
Yes, go
Thank
out
you.
there, shine. Thank you both for creating this space.
Thank you for being here.
All
I'm
right.
grateful.
Blessings to everybody.
Yay. Don't close off the chat. I want to
No, I
grab
know.
those beautiful comments. A couple comments from the chat. It says, thank you, Lena. Love you so much, Lena. What a great day. Limitless potential. A beautiful day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So want to be able to share those with Lena too. So we will grab those and share them with y'all. Also, just a couple of quick announcements. Everything that you're seeing here, I just said it a second ago, all of the replays, you're going to be able to find these on the live page. So remember to bookmark that page. It is www.houthustle.com/live. All of the amazing special offers, all of the things that we talked about as far as the chakra healings, the eight hertz frequencies, including the write-ups and maybe a couple of like what she calls tasters, right? So a little MP3 that you can kind of check out and see what the chakra healing sound like. Those are also on, a button is also on those pages. So you can click around and see what we have to offer, as well as our Mystique Societe. So the way in which to join and to how to buy the replays. If you're really loving this summit and you would like to keep these replays for yourself for the future, that information is also there. So you can click around on those buttons and just kind of check each one out and see what calls to you.
Fabulous.
We have a live event coming up at the end of the year. It is in November 7th through the 9th, and we'll be talking about that as well. We're super excited. It'll be super intimate as well, and we'll be doing kind of more like rituals and embodiment, and we'll, we're going to get a lot of one-on-one time with each other. We've got guests coming in to provide some sound bowl healing. I mean, we're going to go all in depth, and it's going to be here in Austin, Texas, so it's pretty warm. It's not going to be hot the way it is right now. It'll be comfortable.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be beautiful.
We want to remind you that we also for all of the summits and our live show is every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific, but we always believe in giving back, and we support women and child youth activities and nonprofits. Right now we're supporting riseandup.org, and it is an organization created by students that refurbishes laptops and devices to give back to other students and women in need. So again, that's just a big piece of our philanthropy that we believe in, and just giving back to the community as well. And then also, like I always said, our free resources, being here with these amazing speakers every Tuesday and Thursday, and continuing to show up live and facilitate that live show every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yep.
Join us on the Instagram if you missed any part, or if you wanted some of this free information that if Fallon or that anyone has shared, you can get that by just send us a little comment so we can remember to send it to you on Instagram, and that's at How Hustle Live. So a little incentive to get you to comment for us, and also so that we can remember to send you those free resources that they mentioned live. So the free gifts and stuff like that. Just make a comment and we will make your note to get those out to you as well. So we're at How Hustle Live on the gram.
And the goodies will be there.
Yes, yes. Anything else that I'm forgetting?
No,
Well, so then we'll just remind you to take a little time to enjoy the woo. Have a good one, y'all.
Hi, everyone.